Hi, Cancers. This is going to be your reading. Cancers, I'm actually feeling you guys kind of in your shells a little bit. Like maybe you guys went into retreat mode, which isn't a bad thing. I think it's actually for more self-preservation more than anything. You could have been dealing with situations around you that were a little bit conflictual and weren't really vibing with your energy, so you chose to kind of step back a little bit. And it's like I see somebody kind of like, okay, I'm going to take my food upstairs and just sit in my room, and I'll have my dinner up there because I'll have my peace. I'm not quite sure what that means, but that's what came through. It's kind of funny. Like I actually saw that like happening. So it's like kind of like you're choosing, maybe it's dealing with a home situation, could be dealing with some conflict in family matters, so it causes you to kind of be like, okay, I'm going to go eat my dinner somewhere else. Like, you guys can talk amongst yourselves, but I'm going to go ahead and remove myself from the situation. So the first card out is Unrequited Love. The card itself says that there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relation going. But I'm seeing that somebody's trying. Like, there's one person who's trying to get your attention, but I don't think that you really... Ooh, look at that. I don't think that they're really kind of like your cup of tea, so to speak. And that's not in a bad way, but I feel like you have your focus somewhere else, and maybe the person that you were dealing with, you weren't really pursuing something with them, but they were maybe pursuing something with you, and it's kind of like... well, I don't really feel the same way, so, I'd like to be friends, but I'd like to go in my own direction now, because I actually feel like, I just feel like the person that you were dealing with might have had, like, high hopes for the situation with you, but you weren't really on the same page, so you guys weren't on the same basis of everything. I do feel like you are going through a time of really learning how to just genuinely be yourself out in public, genuinely open up, genuinely, like, I want to say not genuinely, but authentically opening up. And, oh my goodness, my throat chakra right now is going crazy. Actually speaking, like, your truth as to, like, who you are and allowing that personality to shine through. I do see that something's caught your attention here with new love. Could be a new person that's entered your life or is about to be entering your life. And I feel like this person or this situation will come when you least expect it, doing the things that you love to do. And I see that some people really enjoy to cook, like maybe even bake or to garden. It's going to be like, as you're doing the things that you love to do, like, the more that you continue to do that, the more attention you're going to get from this other person. I actually just looked at the clock and I saw 333. So when I see that, I always think of, like, of course, mind, body, and spirit, mind, body, and soul. It's being in harmony with yourself is what's going to bring this in. I do feel an energy that you are maybe stuck on somebody from your past, and it's definitely very draining and exhausting, but I actually think it's more draining to your spirit guides, because it's a reiteration of things where they're trying really hard to get your attention about something, and they're trying really hard to, like, get you to understand a lesson that you might be in, but they're just like, okay, like, okay, like, all right, and we'll send her another set of signs and we'll see, or, we'll send him another set of signs and we'll see how this goes. It's actually kind of humorous a little bit. And I'm also seeing a situation where you yourself are exhausted, and it's like, okay, how many times can I go over this? I do feel an immature energy here. But then again, you might also be dealing with somebody who might have children. So not like I have multiple meanings for this children card here. Sometimes that talks to me about, youthful innocence, and then sometimes it talks to me about inner child work, and then sometimes it'll talk to me about real children. But for this one in specific, I'm actually feeling a little bit more of an immature energy, childish behavior. Maybe somebody's not very good at expressing what they want. They just kind of beat around the bush a little bit. And then on the other hand, on the flip side, I actually feel like maybe you had children with somebody, or maybe you're dealing with somebody who has children, and they are enamored with the new situation that they're involved with, but they're stuck on the person that they were with before, maybe because there are children involved. I am feeling that type of an energy here, but it's one of those situations that I personally like. They're not letting me dive too far into that because obviously whenever it's like, oh, don't be stuck on somebody while you're dating somebody new. But with kids involved, I feel like it's more of a delicate situation here. So I think that obviously will come out in due time. But I don't feel like it's anything negative. I don't feel like it's like, oh, I still love this person, blah, blah, blah. But I think because they are involved with their children, it's a different form. It's like I don't know the right word to put for it, but it's like civil and it's appropriate. It's nothing inappropriate. I felt like I had to explain that. That's okay. It's an appropriate thing is just what I'm hearing. It's like it's appropriate. But I feel like the situationship that they could have been in, if it did involve children, it was not really harmonious. Like it was I hear a toxic mess. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but that's what I hear, is just a toxic mess. All right, so we have the Eight of Wands. Wow. So we have the Eight of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. So somebody is either working towards this energy of finding the Two of Cups and finding that passion, or somebody is dealing with another person who they're in a relationship with, but it's like this person has to, they're like working to open up this person's heart. And by doing that, they're like touching different parts of their heart center that it's causing like I'm hearing like an electric reaction, like, or some type of like, there's a frequency that's being tapped into, but it's a result of the person that this person's with, because they have such a divine connection that it's like this person is like fixing this person's heart. Like maybe their heart chakra is a little bit closed off, or maybe it has big blockages. Maybe this person's a healer and they're helping their significant other through a very intense healing process. And I don't necessarily know if the feminine energy knows that they're doing that for the masculine, because right off the bat, the masculine is the one who's being worked on, and the feminine is the one who is working on the masculine. And I really hope that makes sense. And if it's not already happening, like if that's not your current situation, it's coming towards you at a very quick, fast pace. Like you might actually like feel this in a meditation. You might feel this in actual reality. Like you might actually feel the energy of it creeping up on you, and you're like, what's happening? But what's actually happening is that you're coming into alignment with somebody who can do that, and it's reciprocated, like it's equal give and take. So if you've been in a situation that wasn't equal give and take, you're moving towards this. And not only is it the Two of Cups, but with the Ace of Wands directly behind it, like that's a lot of passion. That's a lot of like heart and soul that's being put into something, in my opinion. Like when I feel this energy, it is like powerful. Like this is extremely powerful. And then you have the Hierophant here, which just validates it all. So, like, I feel like this is spiritually ordained, but I actually feel like there's a trick to this. It's almost a little bit tricky. It's like you have to get through another type of lesson in order to, like, get to this. It's like you're almost at the end of the road and you're trekking and you're trekking, but you have one more mountain that you have to climb. And if you haven't already climbed it, you're on your way down from it. if that makes sense. Like a lot of Capricorn energy when it comes to persistency and consistency of getting something done. And that could be a lesson, that could be, you know, working on yourself, that could be, it's something like that. But I feel like you've been in a state of communication with the divine, with source. And I feel like, again, you knew that this was coming, or you feel that this is coming. And you've gotten a lot of messages about it. You've gotten synchronicities about it. You've actually, I feel like you've even had dream time with it. Maybe even some of you guys are lucid dreamers, where it's like you know what's going on in the situation, so you can like pick it apart in your own dreams and figure out those lessons and then wake up and write it down. Like there's something like that here. Whew, I gotta slow down. It's just all, it's really intense. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups here as well. And it's like somebody's about to walk through something, and it has to do with their emotions. Like there's been an ending. There's been a wrap up, but it's a beautiful wrap up because it's going to propel you into this rapid fire communication, rapid fire intuition. Like there's something here about that. And it's like as soon as you get on your horse and you go through that, it's just like boom, doors wide open. That's insane. Whatever it is that could be holding you back, I don't think it's going to be holding you back much longer. You're about to trek up this freaking mountain. And you're gonna trek up it, and you're gonna come right back down. And you're gonna go right over top of this thing. Whatever this is, it's just like mountains. So there's a lot of anxiety involving the past. There's a lot of anxiety about reigniting that passion. But I feel like the person who's coming towards you, like you might actually have options on who this person could be. Like you might actually be in a state of confusion because you have so many options, because you're noticing that new people are coming into your life right now. And you could have been like slowly like seeing that pattern where it's like, oh, once I shifted my energy, all of a sudden all of these people are like messaging me or talking to me or approaching me, and you can feel that pull. And it's like, okay, well who, like, where am I supposed to go now? Like who's the person like that I'm supposed to talk to? Like, or who is like, who's being authentic and who's being true, and who's just lying, and who's, you know what I mean? Like you're trying to like figure out like, okay, is this going to be my next option? And I hate to put it that way, but it's like you're going through like options right now where you're like, okay, I could go down this path, or I could go down this path, or I could go down this path, or I could talk to this person, or maybe it's this person, or even this person, because they've been around for a really long time and they seem to always just come back. And it's like you're trying to figure all of that out, and it's kind of putting you in a state of confusion, and it's actually kind of starting to make you feel a little bit restricted. But you have to push through it, because no matter how intense the anxiety might be, I don't think it's going to, I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think it is. I feel like the thought of the anxiety is more intense than the actual situation, because if you tap into yourself and you really learn how to work with yourself and work with your intuition, you'll know the answer that you're seeking. Like you'll be able to figure it out because you'll see it and you'll be like, that's where I'm going. But you have to tap into it and really quiet your mind. And it might take some practice, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, right under the Hierophant, you have the Chariot. So that's movement. There's something exciting that's going on. And it's like all these people are waiting for you. And this can even be like ancestors who are like rooting for you. Like, oh my gosh, like, come on, you can do it. Like, keep going, keep going, keep going. Like, get up that mountain. Like, don't stop. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't give up. There's like something like that here. And it's like once you reach the end of it, I feel so much happiness coming off of it. And it seems very intimidating, but it's like when that anxiety kicks in, you got to go within yourself. And I know that that sounds really scary, but it's like there's a reason why passion or something exciting like that passion, to get that passion back, there's something that triggers anxiety, and it could even be love itself that triggers that anxiety of like, oh gosh, what if I make another mistake, or what if I repeat a cycle? But you really have to take control of the wheel and go within. Go within. Yeah, see, The Sun. I told you there's a happy ending to all of the situation. As scary and as dark as it seems, the cards are not scary and dark. Like, you only have 2 cards that I think would be considered to be that level, like the 10 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. But honestly, in my opinion, this 9 of Swords is illusionary. It's not real. You see what I'm saying? It's just a hurdle because you're confused. It's a hurdle because you don't know what direction to go into, and that's all it is. It's just a hurdle. Because you're like, what do I do? Which way do I go? Who do I pick? Who do I talk to? Who's good for me? Who's not good for me? But you're going to get through it. And as soon as this ending comes, you're going to have, like, intense, like, you're just going to blossom. Like, look at that. Like, and look at the colors in this. Like, you're going to go from, like, this big transformation to just, like, you are going. And then immediately following it, it's 2 of Cups. Like, this is beautiful. Yeah, so you might feel a little attacked, like, you might feel, like, a little bit put on the spot, but it's like you're with this person, like, you might face some, like, you know, criticism or whatever the case may be, like, people might talk, whatever. It's just, like, almost, it's not even, like, being attacked, but it's more or less, like, being gossiped about, and, like, you might go through that type of an experience, but again, I don't think that you guys are still together. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's still 2 people in this card, and it's like you guys are facing it together. Six of Cups. You're unlocking a treasure box, and you're moving forward. Like, you're setting sail. Like, you're gonna leave whatever this is. Like, whatever adverse. I don't know what word I'm trying to say. It's a word for conflict. Like, whatever conflict you're being faced with, both of you are gonna move forward, and you're gonna keep going. And I feel like there's a hint here, and it's something from the past. But they're not letting me dive too far into that. They're just like, hint, hint, something from the past. Hint, hint, something from the past. Wow, all my cards just fell. 4 of Wands. Okay. Goodness. Okay, so yeah, the 4 of Wands. And it's like, as soon as you move forward, as soon as you set sail to something, like, you have so much abundance around you. You have so much stability. Like, absolutely so much stability. Like, you have flowers everywhere, like, new growth everywhere, new life everywhere. You might even have your own business, because I'm seeing some type of business. Purple is standing out to me right now. Alright, we're done. Strength at the bottom of the deck. They don't want me to throw any more of these cards. That's fine. So strength at the bottom of the deck. So that tells me that you need to have strength to get through this situation. You have to... I just heard hold on tight. Like, I saw a roller coaster, and it's like you're going up to the top, and you know that feeling that you get in your stomach before you go down the roller coaster? You go down that first big jump, that first big hill. That's how I feel right now. Yeah, so we have the Sun. Happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success, and having confidence in yourself. Oh my goodness, slipped right into my hand. 9 of Water. Your wishes coming true, concerns fading away, and a love life. So that's what I'm saying. It's like you're coming out from being so submerged. And I feel like that has to do with just taking time for yourself, because there's been something that you need to release. And it's the end of a phase or a situation. You're going through a spiritual transformation, and it's time to move on. So whatever situation you're dealing with that's unrequited, that's not fulfilling you, it's time to move forward. It's time to move away from that, and it's time to get going where you need to go, basically, is what I'm hearing. Go to where you're being pulled. Go to where your heart is going. I just saw 2020 on the clock. Go, like, balance out a situation within yourself of being like, okay, what do I do now? What do I do now? But that is a beautiful read. That is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you guys. I love you guys so much. Take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.